Hey all, how are you? What have you all been up to? Let me know in the comments box. I'm just about to start another round of videos for you guys. Well, let's see what's going on for today. What is the message? Wow. This is about you having a real deep look at how you can move forward personally in your own existence or in your own self. It's about you being really clear and really honest about what you need to work on. Now, for some of you, you're going to end up going into a bit of a hermit mode. They're showing me the hermit card in the tarot, and you need to go in and really, can you see how the universe is in your heart? The universe is in your heart. You get your heart here, look, be honest, and also under the deck we get the love. So it's all about you really going inwards and working out where it is that's going to allow you to move up. So this is the transitions card, where you're moving up, yeah, spiritually, where you're moving up emotionally, where you're learning to, you know, when you get that feeling of you're doing the same things but you're learning how to deal with them a lot quicker, or you're going to be coming into a stage where, like I say, you're going to be learning. So maybe you, I don't know, you have a problem with attachments, but then you manage to pull yourself out of that quite quickly because you've realised that it's attachments that are the problem, and it might be a father wound, it might be a mother wound, but it's all these things are what are going to come out for you going forward over the next, the same 1 to 2 months. So this isn't just about today, this is about slow progression. That's why we've got the 3 steps up. You, like I say, a good way to do to find out about inner work. So obviously I don't know my real father, and for me to understand that, I found that out in meditation. So I worked on that from going into meditations and asking spirit, what is it I need to look at to help me go forward in my relationships. And that was all my relationships, by the way. And what I didn't realise was that I had felt abandoned by my real father, although I didn't realise that. I thought I were good with the fact that I didn't know my real dad. I thought I were good with the fact of everything that happened around that situation. But actually, when I went into meditation, I was really working on myself just a few years ago. I realised that actually that had affected me because it is another form of abandonment. The other thing that I found as well was that when I'd lost, obviously I've lost 4 babies now, trying to have George, and what I'd realised was that was another attachment thing. So of course you get attached to this baby that starts to grow, and then you lose the baby, and then that becomes another attachment problem. So I wouldn't have known about any of that because I thought I'd coped with everything very well. And literally the thing about my dad didn't affect me at all. That's what I thought. Now, when I started to really work on myself a few years ago, and I went into meditation a lot to find out what I needed to work on, the honesty card reminds me of the fact that doing the meditations brought forward to me exactly what I needed to be looking at. And a lot of it was wounding from the father side. There was some mother issues. There was obviously the children that I'd lost. And a lot of these things I didn't actually realise were causing me problems in relationships going forward. So that's what this is about for you. It's finding the love within yourself, to love yourself enough, to be honest enough with yourself, and to see things from a different perspective. And I think for some of you, this is saying, you know, you need to be going into quiet time. You need to be contemplating. You need to be journaling. You need to be working out, look, forgiveness. You need to learn as well with forgiveness. You have to forgive the things that have caused you the issues in the first place. We don't always realise this. But there is a forgiveness side of it as well, because if you've got a problem, if there's something that's, you know, you've got to forgive yourself for having them attachment styles, for not realising earlier that you were making these moves, that you were going through these patterns, that you were going through these cycles. And this is, look, wisdom. Wisdom is gained. And we get the separation card, and I think that's about you separating your emotions and the way you feel about things and being able to identify and be honest with yourself. It's like you're going to have to stand on the outside of yourself and look in for you to be able to work out your next move when it comes to you going up to a higher level. yeah, there's something about detaching. Also about the fact of attachments as well, because if you look at the roots on this tree, they're still attached. So I think you as well, the reason why I'm giving you this message and it's coming from me as a tarot reader is because that I struggled with attachment, and of course you've got to identify that, otherwise you can't move on in a relationship perspective. When you can see from another person's perspective, you can look in on yourself, so looking from the outside in as to what it is that's causing you these emotions, these issues that come up when you end up in another relationship, when you end up controlling things, when you end up trying to hold on to things too much, when you end up in your head, whenever you have new friendships or relationships, when you can't trust in your friendships and your relationships, and when you feel unfree. So this is about freedom, but it's not. It's that you feel unfree because you feel like you need to be overly attached to somebody to be able to have that relationship. And what happens then is that smothers the relationship, and then the relationship can't breathe, and then that relationship then becomes separation, but then you can't disattach from that relationship because you feel that you need to get it back because you're not worthy, or you weren't worthy, or you did it wrong, or it was your fault, etc, etc. So this today is about, and it's going to be over, and I keep hearing next 1 to 2 months, you're going to be looking at yourself from a different perspective and learning how to transition through the things that are causing you to be held back by your own self, and the things that you probably haven't even identified yet within yourself. Even if you're doing like I do, you know, we spend our time reading for other people, and you know, sometimes you don't even realise that you've actually got the same issue. I wouldn't have thought that I had that attachment issue, and that was a lot of the reasons I struggled with the relationships. So sometimes you have to look outside the box, is what this is saying, for you to have that spiritual growth, for you to have that transition forward, for you to be able to have that relationship with friends, family, and lovers as well. So good luck with this, guys. You've got the strength to do it. That's what they're doing. They're giving you the strength to pull this transformation out of the bag. Okay, it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to level up on your spiritual path. This is not going to be a quick fix, so we may end up with a few readings about this as we're going along over the next couple of months. Just checking on how everybody's doing. But yeah, it's about you finding that you know, the reasons behind why you do what you do and why you perform in relationships as you do. All right, my lovelies. So you take care. Good luck with all this, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Goodbye.